welcome to As I See It. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of advice that came from the world of cycling, road cycling to be exact, but that I've often found useful when thinking about career decisions, and I think others have too. So when I started cycling, it was the early 2000s and I was living in the Bay Area. And the Bay Area is full of really gnarly hills that were designed seemingly to make cyclists go flying off the edge of cliffs as they're navigating really, really steep slopes and twisty roads. And I was always white knuckling my way down these roads, just absolutely fixated on this cliff that was next to me. And, was the bike getting out of control? My forearms were sore from squeezing the brakes so hard. It's completely horrifying, terrifying experience. And yet, there were always these packs of cyclists in matching jerseys speeding past me without a care in the world. And I got to the bottom one day after having this happen for the umpty millionth time, and I'm still just sweating bullets. And I asked one of the guys in the pack, how do you guys get down these hills so fast without just absolutely wiping out? And he said, the trick is that the bike always goes where you're looking. So look where you want the bike to go, not where you don't want the bike to go. So let's fast forward a little bit, and I'm in law school, and I'm being taught how to think like a lawyer. And one of the things that gets pounded into you in law school, as you all know, is that you're supposed to be constantly panning and scanning for obstructions and obstacles. It's part of risk assessment and mitigation. The idea is if you can see everything that could possibly get in the way, you can chart a course around it. Now, this is fine when you're talking about trying to keep a client out of trouble or trying to avoid some sort of a legal hurdle or keep something from occurring. But it's not a great mindset when you're actually thinking about career direction. And let me just tell you why. We'll take a simple hypothetical. So say you are a young associate and you're working on a litigation and you want to be a trial lawyer, and there's a big deposition coming up. And you want to be the one to help the partner prep for and possibly even second chair this particular deposition. If you go with your risk mitigation training, you're going to start by thinking about all of the things that could possibly go wrong. You might be rejected, or maybe you'd be made to feel foolish for asking when it wasn't strictly speaking your turn. You could be perceived as uppity or maybe dissatisfied with your current role. Your ambition might offend a colleague. You're not crazy about any of these things. These things all sound like bad outcomes. So then you start thinking about how to mitigate those risks, but you don't get very far because other people's perceptions of you are almost never within your control. So with that kind of a mindset in that scenario, it makes perfect sense to say, whoa, I'd better just kind of sit back and let things unfold and wait my turn. When you're looking at where you don't want to go, the ask is not worth the risk. So now let's flip that script and start by looking at where you want to go. Then your internal monologue is going to go a little more like this. I want to be a trial lawyer someday. So to do that, I need to get as much experience as possible preparing witnesses. In order to get that experience, I need to show the partners in charge that I want it. Deposition assignments are going to be made soon. I've done some really great work in fact development. So this is a good opportunity to start a conversation about what I want and what I need to do to get that work in the future. And if I don't get the assignment that I want right now, at least I've put my hat in the ring and let people know that I'm interested. So when you start by looking at where you want to go, it makes perfect sense to make the ask. So mind blown, right? Your circumstances are identical, but in one case you've talked yourself out of a job, and in the other, you've talked yourself right into it, all because you've shifted your perception and looked where you wanted to go and stopped fixating on where you did not want to go. So next time you're at a crossroads like this, or you know somebody who is, give it a try and let me know where you wind up. But also, still use your brakes on the really slippy downhills.